Going to the Singapore Grand Prix next. After Checo Perez's dad had an attack that he almost lost his life when his son, Checo Perez, and Carlos Sainz had the accident they had on Sunday. And coming from that race to another race, the last race in Azerbaijan, Baku, Max Verstappen looked so ordinary in that race. And I think maybe it's because we've seen him win a lot of races. If you look at it, you'll be like, is this the same Verstappen that we know? You know, the car is not performing, and they are going to a race in which you are not sure the car will also be performing. A lot of people are saying because the Red Bull have a good slow speed corner package, it might be beneficial to them. But when you also look at the curbs and everything on the track, it might not be better for them, because it's almost like saying the same street race in Monaco, in which they had also a rough race. Steering was not turning, a lot of things were just happening for them. Coming to this one now, will it be the same? It's going to be a big one for Red Bull, because after this race they'll be having like a 2-3 weeks break to come back. Going to the track, I think it will be very difficult for Red Bull trying to bring upgrades in which they believe might work, and they are not sure if this upgrade will work because of what they are trying to test, and it's going to be a big ask Red Bull. I don't know how the Red Bull team are going to go about that. They need a special car. And if you look at Azerbaijan back, Sergio Perez totally outperformed Max Verstappen. If you really analyze it, you will understand that he was on pace all through the qualifying and all through the race. There was no way Max Verstappen was going to be on par with Sergio Perez. I'm going to a track in which Max Verstappen has never won. There's going to be a very, very big one for him, coming with a car that is not performing. And if after Austin, Red Bull don't improve, how will the next season be? The team principal, Chris Horner, said they believe it was Spain 2023 that they made a mistake in the upgrade, and that was the time that Checo Perez started complaining. If they are tracking it back then, that was not when they just made the mistake. That was when they made an update in which worked for only one driver, but not for the other driver, because it really worked for Max Verstappen, not Checo Perez, those upgrades. Let's go to the main race that we are having. Singapore is a very, very beautiful city, and the motor racing event, which forms part of the Formula 1 World Championship, which takes place in Marina Bay Street Circuit. That was the first official inaugural street race in Asia, and also the first inaugural night race in F1. A lot of people know that the San Marina Bay Street Circuit race is one of the most challenging races of the season, except for last year when the Qatar Grand Prix was the most challenging for the season. After each race or before the race, the drivers always have a cold ice bath because the heat is extreme in San Marina and in Singapore, and I believe the Mercedes having a hot seat, it will be very, very hot. I hope they are able to find a solution to that. 22 Grand Prix had been held in Singapore. First was held in 1966. And driver with the most wins is Sebastian Vettel, 5 wins, while Lewis Hamilton is having 4 wins. Circuit length is a 4.940 kilometers, which is a 3.070 miles. The race length of 306,143 kilometers, that's a 190.228 miles, with a 62 lap race in hand to run. Certainly it's going to be a challenging race for these drivers, with the temperature, especially for the race, looking turning. For the FP1 and FP2, for both practices, there's a small chance of rain with thunder showers around the circuit for most of the day, but to be clearing up around the evening. The FP1, FP2 starts in the evenings. There'll be a gust of wind expected to settle at speed of 12 miles per hour during the FP1, which will decrease throughout the course of the evening. Temperatures will be at the highest during the FP1, sitting at 31 degrees Celsius, while during the FP2, the temperature will drop to around 29 degrees Celsius. Now on Saturday, the FP3 and qualifying, the temperature is expected to be around 2 degrees Celsius, but on Saturday it's expected to be dry and sunny, 20% chance of rain in FP3. That will decrease as the night goes. So for the qualifying, there's a percentage that there will be no rain. The track is expected to remain dry during the race, with temperature as high as 30 degrees Celsius, with 5% chance of rain, and the humidity will be 75%. Now, Fernando Alonso won the original San Marino Grand Prix in 2008, and that was the crash gate incident. So Fernando Alonso was driving for Renault then amid the controversy of the crash gate issue, which was said Fernando Alonso was aided by his teammate Nelson Piquet Jr., who was told by the senior hierarchy it was said Renault that he should crash on purpose so that it will benefit Fernando Alonso. We've seen it after that. And San Marino Bay has always given us yellow flags, safety cars, at least one safety car for every race edition. Now we've had 24 deployments of safety car as of 2023. That is that. But certainly it's going to be one of the most challenging races of the season. I've said that, and one of the best races of the season, because there will be mixed conditions, the best in these drivers, and how they are able to race each other under these circumstances. Few of the teams will be bringing upgrades. I believe McLaren will be bringing upgrades. Mercedes might be bringing upgrades. Looking at where they are, they might be bringing upgrades. And the best thing in San Marino is looking at the tourism. That is massive. The hotels, it's beautiful. Last year they had one of the greenest race in 2023, so it will be a green race also in 2024, because they're spending a lot of money to make sure the race is more sustainable around Singapore, and they're trying to be one of the most greenest nations. So it's going to be a green race. In 2008, we had Felipe Massa on pole, Fernando Alonso winning the race, and Kimi Raikkonen on the fastest lap. 2009, we have Lewis Hamilton on pole, Lewis Hamilton winning the race, Fernando Alonso on the fastest lap. In 2010, Fernando Alonso on pole, Fernando Alonso won the race, and Fernando Alonso had the fastest lap. That was his second win of the race, and since that time, he has not won it. That's Fernando Alonso. Sebastian Vettel's first win came in 2011 when he was on pole and he won the race when Jenson Button of McLaren brought in the fastest lap of the race. In 2012, Lewis Hamilton set the pole, Sebastian Vettel won the race, and Nicole Kumba, then driving for Force India, came in with the fastest lap. 2013, Sebastian Vettel on pole, he won the race and set the fastest lap. So because Lewis Hamilton was like, why would Sebastian Vettel do that in 2013? In 2014, Lewis Hamilton came up with the same idea that he's going to be on pole, he's going to win the race, and he's going to set fastest lap. So he did in 2014. So in 2017, Sebastian Vettel and Hamilton were at it again. But there, Sebastian Vettel won the pole position while Hamilton won the race and gave the fastest lap. That was beautiful for them. In 2019, Charles Leclerc came on pole. Sebastian Vettel was like, oh, you're my teammate, but I've won this race before. Let me show you how it's done. Sebastian Vettel won the race. Kevin Magnussen came again and crashed the gate, winning the fastest lap of the race. But in 2020 and 2021, the race was not held due to the restriction of COVID-19. But in 2022, Charles Leclerc gave it a try again. He got on pole, but Sergio Perez is like, you guys don't understand that I'm the king of street circuit. He came in to win the race, while George Russell just joined Mercedes, then managed and took the fastest lap of the race. But in 2023, Carlos Sainz was like, Ferrari loves this track. So he took the pole position. He won the race, but Lewis Hamilton got the fastest lap of the race, which is the official record recently, while the all-time lap record still remains Carlos Sainz Jr.'s record. There's a fourth DRS zone that has been added from turn 14 to turn 16, which gives a double dose DRS coming from turn. So you can carry the DRS, take a DRS on turn 13 again, and push it on to give you an advantage of overtaking. So this is to increase the overtaking on that track. So there are 4 DRS zones in Singapore. Remember last year, they made an alteration to that track to make the track better, but now they are bringing one more DRS zone. It's going to be a very interesting race, and the attendance there has been always great. The inaugural race in 2008 witnessed 300,000 people attending, with a daily attendance of over 100,000 per day. But for last year, there were 264,000 people that attended the race, while in 2022, 302,000 people attended. The rear tires in Singapore suffers more. Front tires don't do much in suffering, but the front left suffers more, but the rear tires suffer more. And the Pirelli are bringing the softest tire compound to this race. So we're having the C3, C4, and the C5 in the order of C3 for hard, C4 medium, and C5 soft. Front camber angle will be a negative 3.25, while at the front a negative 3.08. The traction is about 4 or 5. The abrasion is about 3 or 5. Asphalt grip is high. Who do I think will win this race? This is still a race between Ferrari and McLaren. Those are the two teams that have the chances of winning this race. If you look at it, McLaren, they're having a very good grip on their low speed and their high speed. Though on their DRS, they are 2 or 3 kilometers lower than Mercedes, who has the highest DRS. But how will they be able to use that? They're able to use it to counter the Ferrari strategy with Piastri in Baku. And we don't have a very long straight like we have in Baku, so it will be difficult for overtaking from these top teams. But certainly, qualifying will determine how this is run and starting position. Last week, we can see the point it was qualifying from Lando Norris and McLaren team. But if it's better in this race, I'm still looking at McLaren and Ferrari on top. And if this continues, and Mercedes is able to get a grip on their car, Mercedes is always in the mix in Singapore. But with everything we've been seeing this season, just expect the unexpected. It's going to be an interesting race. Catch you guys in Singapore for the FP1, FP2 video. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.